Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Liverpool transfer news as Reds identify leading candidate to replace Konate. Liverpool has reportedly identified a La Liga defender as a possible replacement for Ibrahima Konate, who could leave Liverpool for free next summer. Konate is out of contract at the end of the season, and he has been linked with a possible free transfer to Real Madrid. A report by Spanish outlet Fichajes says that Sporting Lisbon centre-back Ousmane Diamand has emerged as Liverpool's favoured replacement for Konate. It is reported that Diamand stands out for his decisiveness, his ability to read the game, and his ability to integrate into the attack, with the Reds turning to the 21-year-old. After a deal to sign Mark Guehi from Crystal Palace fell through on deadline day, Liverpool could face competition from Chelsea for the youngster after Levi Colwill sustained a serious knee injury. Meanwhile, Liverpool is unlikely to have a free run at Guehi next year, despite the Palace captain coming agonizingly close to securing his dream move to Anfield last month. Despite Guehi's clear willingness to move to Anfield, the fact that he will be available on a free transfer next year could tempt a number of other big players to the table, including Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich. Guehi spoke about his failed move to Anfield last week and explained why he has seemingly been able to bounce back from the disappointment with ease. Guehi thought he had secured the transfer he had been waiting for all summer when Liverpool and Palace agreed a fee on deadline day, only for Palace to pull the plug on the deal at the 11th hour over Oliver Glasner's concern that his club captain leaving would leave the Eagles too light in defense. The sun goes up, the sun comes down. Life goes on, Guehi said. That's my mindset. And if you adopt that mindset in most things, you just get on with life and move on. Fortunately for me, I'm at a football club that has helped me and given me so much. So it does make it that much easier. Asked by TNT Sports what helped him cope with the situation, Guehi added, having my family there the whole time, friends, people that have always been there for me, and then the football club, people that you come in to work with every single day. Staff, teammates, they are always there. So when they're joking and laughing and smiling, it just makes it easy, to be honest. It's been really good in that sense. Milos Kerkez call made as Arne Slot faces difficult decision over Liverpool future. Decisions. Arne Slot will be spending much on the international break, scratching his head and wondering how to get Liverpool out of a rut that has seen them slip to 3 very narrow defeats. For the first time in his tenure, much of the discussion has been around integrating a host of new signings, with the Reds squad having undergone a significant overhaul during the summer transfer window. One of the positions that has prompted much debate among supporters is at left back. It's accepted Milos Kerkez will be the long-term successor to Andy Robertson, but does that mean the Hungary international should be in the team right now ahead of the seasoned Scot? The Echo writers take a look. Paul Gorst. It's been a steep learning curve for Milos Kerkez at Anfield. Having traded Bournemouth for Liverpool, the 21-year-old is finding out on the job just how different the demands are at a club aiming to retain their Premier League title. The left-back's performances earned him a spot in last season's PFA Team of the Year, and with his best years ahead of him, the Reds believe they have been proactive in planning for life after Andy Robertson at Anfield. Robertson, though, still has plenty to give, and while he is inside the final year of his Liverpool contract, the Scotland skipper is not yet a busted flush at 31. The defender played a big part in a general improvement in performance from the Reds at Chelsea on Saturday, and with Kerkez still adapting, perhaps it's time to give the long-serving Scotsman a consistent run once more. That's not to say Kerkez is being dropped for poor form, but as he continues getting up to speed at a club like Liverpool, Robertson is ideally positioned to show his younger colleague how to go about it. There is no doubt Kerkez is the future of the Reds left-back spot, but Robertson does not to be discarded too easily, and his experience and know-how, particularly during a difficult run of form, should be overlooked. Arne Slot clearly feels he should persist with Kerkez in an effort to get him playing into the sort of form that made him a 40mm summer arrival, but there is plenty of time for that. At the moment, the Reds boss needs to get back to basics as much as possible, and that means a return to the side for one of the squad's leaders, Ian Doyle. It's all very well having a focus on the future. The present, though, is what dictates everything that goes after it. And right now, Liverpool have a bit of an issue at left back. There's no doubt Milos Kerkez has had his eyes opened by moving to Liverpool. While clearly a confident soul by nature, that self-belief has taken a knock when faced with the enormity of what it takes to play for one of the biggest clubs at the world. True, Kerkez spent a season at AC Milan, but he didn't feature for a single minute. And only when on the field game after game does it emerge how pressurized the situation is playing for a team that expects to win every week rather than, with the greatest respect, at a club such as Bournemouth, for whom their current high standing in the Premier League is greeted with a little bewilderment. Indeed, it took Andy Robertson several months after joining from Hull City before he adapted not only to life at Liverpool, but the demands of playing for the Reds, albeit under a different manager in Jurgen Klopp. Now 31, Robertson has gone beyond his peak, but that doesn't make him a busted flush. And having spent much of this season on the bench, the time has perhaps come for him to be restored to the starting lineup to give Kerkez not only a breather, but a chance to watch from the sidelines at what is required. It will do all parties, Robertson, Kerkez, and of course Liverpool themselves, a world of good. And while helping the present, it will also aid the future. Kerkez can learn from this. Mark Guehi sends fresh Liverpool transfer message while with England after latest rumors. Liverpool transfer target Mark Guehi has stated that he is not focusing on his future, despite speculation surrounding its potential location. Fresh reports have linked the defender with moves to top European clubs such as Barcelona and Real Madrid. The centre-back was close to making a deadline day move to Liverpool in the summer, but Crystal Palace pulled the plug on a deal after failing to find a replacement in time. Guehi has continued to play and wear the captain's armband for the Eagles. He is out of contract at Selhurst Park at the end of the season and is not expected to sign a new deal, meaning he will be available on a free transfer, while speculation on his next destination continues to circulate. The Reds continue to be linked with a move, but the latest reports suggest that they could be behind Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and Real Madrid in the race. It is added that Palace are preparing for the player's departure, either in the January window or in the summer. Guehi is currently on international duty with England and could feature in both the friendly against Wales on Thursday night and the World Cup qualifier away at Latvia next Tuesday. Ahead of those games, Guehi was asked about the importance of getting his own personal future sorted. "For me, it doesn't matter," he said. "As long as I'm playing well for Palace, there is an opportunity for me to be here. Whether it's sorted or not, it doesn't matter for me. Personally, I don't know if I can think that far ahead. I like to just take it step by step, and that is just focusing on the games that I have at Palace and any upcoming opportunities I have here." Liverpool are likely to be keeping an eye on Guehi over the international break. Although their plans ahead of the January window are still to be seen, Arne Slot may have concerns over his center-back options, with summer signing Giovanni Leone a long-term absentee with a serious knee injury. There are also concerns over the fitness of Ibrahima Konate. It's been revealed that the defender is not currently training with the France team after limping off shortly after half-time in last weekend's defeat to Chelsea. Liverpool told Newcastle delayed $125 million Alexander Isak transfer for brutal reason. Liverpool have been told a theory as to why Newcastle United may have delayed reaching an agreement over a deal for Alexander Isak. The Reds signed the Sweden international from the Magpies on transfer deadline day. Following months of speculation, Isak signed for Liverpool in a deal worth $125 million to become the most expensive signing in Anfield and British transfer history. The striker has scored 1 goal for the Reds since his move to Merseyside, having been given an individual program to work on his fitness following his arrival from St. James's Park. Before signing for Liverpool, Isak was training away from the Newcastle first-team squad and had not made a single appearance during pre-season or in the Premier League. As a result, the 26-year-old has been building up his fitness since joining the Reds and has started the last 2 top-flight matches. Former Newcastle midfielder Jeff Hendrick, who spent 4 years on Tyneside before leaving in the summer of 2024, has provided a theory as to why Isak's move to Liverpool was not completed until the very end of the transfer window. If his situation was a year earlier, I would have crossed paths with him in the bomb squad, said Hendrick in an interview with Boyle Sports. Unfortunately, I didn't. I was probably more surprised by how long it drew out publicly. 2 months. Who knows, before they broke up for summer. There was talk of stuff being guaranteed behind closed doors. It must have been the case for him to push it that much. I think it was always going to happen. Even a month out. It was inevitable. There couldn't be a U-turn. The fans weren't happy. Then it was more Newcastle dragging it out, waiting to line up the player they wanted. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little bit of tactics involved. Let's send him to Liverpool not fit. He won't have had a proper preseason. They're going to have to get him fit. They've got a backlog of games. Because if you look at it, he's obviously played a couple of games, but he's not an Alexander Isak of 120 million. So it's probably clever from them. Jurgen Klopp's miracle moments and shrewd Liverpool transfers that turned the tide. 10 years ago, Liverpool made the decision to appoint Jurgen Klopp, a call that would define the modern era at Anfield. In October 2015, Brendan Rodgers was ushered out the door, and quickly the Reds turned to the German. Klopp had just called time on his spell in charge of Borussia Dortmund. At the Bundesliga outfit, he made Europe take note of his capabilities, with the German side winning successive league titles and making it to the Champions League final, where they were unlucky to lose in 2012. For Liverpool, winning league titles had become a distant memory. They had not ruled in England since 1990, and the likes of Rodgers and Rafa Benitez had come close, but not close enough. Klopp would spent 9 years at Liverpool before calling time on his stint, a period in which he made the Merseysiders England's and Europe's premier side for a spell. The decision to appoint him proved an inspired choice, and he was responsible for some of the greatest moments at Anfield in the modern era. His personality ensures he will forever go down as an iconic figure for anyone involved with Liverpool. We take a trip down memory lane to remember some of the games that defined his tenure and the signings who would best sum up what he achieved with Liverpool. Key matches. Man City 1-4 Liverpool, 41 Nov 2015. Supporters were seeking a glimmer of hope, something to cling on to, and it didn't take long for the first defining performance of the Klopp era to arrive. Liverpool turned up in Manchester and were 3-0 ahead within 32 minutes. It was only their 5th league match under their new manager, but the principles on show were exactly what Klopp wanted to bring. Liverpool 3-0 Man City, 4 April 2018, less than 3 months earlier, and the Reds had defeated Guardiola's team 4-3 to end their record-setting unbeaten streak. Their victory in the Champions League was a sign that they were a coming force, as the Premier League leaders were dismantled. It was also one of 3 European campaigns that ended with Klopp leading the Reds out in a Champions League final. Liverpool 4-0 Barcelona, 7 May 2019. Only Liverpool and their historic stadium could make fans believe that a 3-0 first-leg deficit could be overturned, especially against the Spanish giants. Guehi, Wijnaldum, and Divock Origi both netted twice, with Trent Alexander-Arnold's corner leading to the goal that sealed the miracle comeback, an image many will never forget. Liverpool 2-0 Tottenham, 1st June 2019. Only a year after losing the Champions League final to Real Madrid, Klopp clinched European glory before Premier League success. But the capture of a trophy was validation of his methods and instilled the players with the confidence to push forward. Man Ut 05 Liverpool, 24 October 2021. While all the previous trophies were season-long achievements, this one-off gift to the Reds supporters may top the list. Yes, the 7-0 victory later in his tenure was iconic, but the fact that Liverpool dismantled the Red Devils with such ease on their own turf was a sight to behold for anyone from the red half of Merseyside. Man City 2-2 Liverpool. 10th of April 2022. This marked the second title race between the two teams that saw both of them amass over 90 points and took the competition down to the final day. This electrifying draw followed a similar result at Anfield. The rivalry with Guardiola's City has shaped a significant period in Premier League history, producing some of the highest quality football we've ever witnessed. Top signings, Sadio Mane. He was the first player Klopp brought on board who truly embodied the manager's style. Having shown at Southampton, his energy, speed, and aggression caught the attention of several top clubs. At Liverpool, he elevated his game even further, and, despite not grabbing as many headlines as Mo Salah, he played a crucial role in setting things in motion. Virgil van Dijk, a true turning point. Liverpool smashing their transfer record signaled their ambition. They also outmaneuvered Man City for his services, symbolizing the club's patient approach in the transfer market, which greatly benefited them. The centre-back quickly established himself as the best in the world in his position. Andy Robertson, perhaps. The signing that best encapsulates Klopp and Liverpool's shared philosophy of not splashing out like their rivals and seeking better value in the market. It also highlighted Klopp's knack for developing players, with the 8-Maynard acquisition from Hull epitomizing the energy and hard work that underpinned his vision. Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.